If you ask people which phone has the most gorgeous display, 9 out of 10 of them will probably say the Samsung Galaxy S8 or the LG G6. There's no denying that these two phones are crafted beautifully, and their 18:9 aspect ratio panels have a lot to do with it. But they're not number one in my book. That designation goes to the Xiaomi Mi Mix, the phone that got us started on this edge-to-edge display revolution. Xiaomi released the Mi Mix as a concept device to show the world what devices of the future would actually look like. While LG and Samsung's new phones may have a similar display, Xiaomi's Mi Mix takes things to a whole new level. As you can see, the display bumps up to the very edge of the phone, leaving no room for the typical speaker and front-facing camera. Xiaomi completely ditched the speaker, replacing it with a system that vibrates the frame of the phone to create sound. This means that you can hear audio from a call by placing your ear up to the top third of the phone, the front or the back. You're not going to get the best audio quality for calls, but then again, does anyone make calls anymore these days? As for the camera, it was relocated, pushed down below the display. When you launch the front-facing camera, you're actually given a friendly reminder to adjust how you're holding the phone to make sure that you're not including too much of your hand in the shot. If Xiaomi would have stopped simply with the edge-to-edge display, it would have succeeded in delivering a good representation of what the phones of the future would look like. But there's still more. As gorgeous as the display is on this phone, you'll likely fall in love with the body as well. With most high-end smartphones featuring a metal frame and a glass back panel, Xiaomi decided to give the Mi Mix a stunning black ceramic shell, which covers the sides and the back of the phone. And that ceramic finish is even glossier than the jet black iPhone. And while we've seen gold-colored or gold-trimmed phones in the past, this gold trim here around the camera and the fingerprint sensor is actual 18-karat gold. But for as sleek as this thing looks, it's actually just as slippery, and is probably the slipperiest smartphone I've ever held in my hand. If you're not holding it tight enough, it will slip right through your fingers. And I've watched it slip and slide on surfaces which appear to be perfectly flat. And so you might be wondering why you would even want a phone with a ceramic shell. Well, glass, metal, and plastic phones are susceptible to scratches and dents. The ceramic body of the Mi Mix can withstand an incredible amount of abuse without showing even as much as a scratch. But it's not indestructible, not even close. It will break and likely even shatter if you drop it from more than 2 feet high. With the amount of attention that this phone gets for its design, some people forget that the Mi Mix actually has a good spec sheet as well. Inside, it's packing a Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 processor. And since this is the high-end model with the 18-karat gold trim on the back, it also has 6 gigs of RAM and an astonishing 256 gigabytes of storage. That's right, this phone has just as much storage as my laptop. To give you an idea of how much storage that actually is, I've installed more than 50 of the most popular Android games, downloaded 20 high-definition movies, and recorded over an hour of 4K video with this phone, and I still have over 190 gigabytes of free storage to use up. The 6 gigs of RAM that you get with this phone is ideal for heavy users. You can jump from Chrome into a game, check your email, load up Facebook, send a few messages to your friends, and then jump back to Chrome without having it reload the page you were just reading. With the Snapdragon 821, you'll have no issues playing the latest Android games. But performance on this phone isn't always smooth. Xiaomi has a bit of optimization that needs to be done, as I've run into UI stutter and lag from time to time. It's not a huge issue, but it's not something you would expect from a phone with this chipset. But the thing I'm most disappointed with on this phone is the camera experience. The 16-megapixel main sensor with its f2.0 lens and phase detect autofocus just isn't that great when you compare it with the other features on this device. The photos it takes are usually dull, and the electronic image stabilization doesn't help much when taking pictures in low light. The front-facing 5-megapixel camera needs work too, and having to flip the phone over to actually use it will be awkward for most people. With that, I'll end things on a positive note. Battery life. The only way you'll come close to killing the 4,400 mAh battery in a single day is if you use it to play games and constantly surf the web for 6 to 7 hours. It seems crazy, but this is actually the first phone that I've been able to use for a full 2 days with heavy use without even thinking twice about battery life. If you want a phone that makes a statement, skip the Samsung Galaxy S8 and pick up the Xiaomi Mi Mix. It'll even save you money, as the 256GB model sells for roughly $660. It's not the best smartphone ever made, but it's big, bold, and gives you a glimpse of what's to come. With the Mi Mix, Xiaomi is making a statement that they're ready to take on Samsung and Apple. And personally, I can't wait to see what they dream up for later this year.